More questions on the Hunger Games. Got lots to say about this one. I love the Hunger Games though. Who would you trade places with? No one. I wouldn't want to be any of them. Their lives are chaotic and I don't really want any of it. But I guess I could relate the most to Prim because she used herbs and things like that to heal, and I do zoopharmacognosis, so I think she's a quiet, lovely, kind healer. And yeah, she got a bad deal, didn't she? But I wouldn't want to be her, of course, and if you read the book, you'll know why. What do you think happened to the character after the book's official end? I'm assuming they stick together because what they went through and the trauma would have bonded them, and they'd be quite damaged, so not many others would understand what they had gone through together. So I would assume they grow up with their children and they have a relatively straightforward life. I think it's hard to be extremely happy after that sort of trauma. How did the setting impact the story? It really increased the injustice of the wealthy and the poor. So it was a good setting for that because it was very vivid. I don't think our world is quite so vivid in some ways. I mean, you can see that the Western world is richer than the Eastern world in many cases. But there's also a huge amount of poverty within our own country. Like here in the UK, there are so many people who can't afford to feed their families or their pets, their children and animals. And you wouldn't actually see that visibly. So the setting was quite good because you had very rich areas, very poor areas, and struggling and battling that was going on in between them all. So yeah, really good setting. Would you want to read more books based in that world? Not really. It's not a very nice world, let's face it. Even the capital is a little bit twisted and like a dark horror movie gone wrong with a lot of very strange people in there. It's actually quite fashion industry, isn't it? It's like fashion industry taken over, but the extreme side of it, which is great if you're watching it in a fashion show, but if that's real life, it's a little bit odd. Did the book feel real to you? In its own twisted way, yes, it did, even though it's completely unreal. Are there any characters that you would deliver a lecture to? Katniss needs to calm down and Hamish needs to stop drinking. So yeah, I would sort them two out with a nice long lecture that bored them to death.